We've got a very intriguing Gator Bowl between two teams that failed to meet their preseason expectations as 8-4 Clemson takes on 7-5 Kentucky. And while neither team met those preseason expectations, a bowl win would be massive for either program, giving them tons of momentum into a massive 2024 offseason. The question is, who is going to get it? That's what we're here to answer today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. We're so glad you could join us to break down this Gator Bowl between number 22 Clemson and Kentucky. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks, that holiday special there for you guys. Already killing it on our bowl picks this season, and we want you to win big with us right now. It's never too late to sign up, giving you every single college football bowl game spread pick, every NFL playoff game spread pick for a very, very low price. One of the best marks in the entire country, best offers in the entire country. Go sign up, and again, become a member of our GE Nation to win big with us this postseason. So you look at Clemson and Kentucky, guys. We said neither really lived up to the hype. Clemson was hoping to, win the ACC again, be a playoff contender. Kentucky was hoping to, not really challenge the SC East. That was always going to be dominated by Georgia, but maybe get to a better mark, 8, 9, maybe 10-win season. Who knows? But here we are at 8-4 and 7-5. Clemson getting annihilated by Duke in that season opener, starting the year at 4-4 before winning their final 4 games to kind of salvage the year. Kentucky kind of had a lot of people believing after their strong 5-0 start, including a blowout win over Florida, but they went just 2-5 down the stretch. Their only wins coming against Mississippi State and Louisville, and also suffering massive blowout losses to Georgia and Missouri. So this is a game, again, where two teams failed to meet those expectations, but they're desperately hoping to end the year on a high to kind of salvage that disappointment. Who's going to get the win? Let's take a look at the offense. We'll start with Clemson. This was a team offensively that was supposed to be better, especially with the addition of Garrett Riley as offensive coordinator, and they just weren't. The Tigers weren't all they were cracked up to be. Many people thought Riley coming in was going to work wonders with Cade Klubnik, and it just didn't happen. They averaged 29.2 points per game, 225 through the air, 180 on the ground. Klubnik had 2,500 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. It was okay. Wasn't anything spectacular. He wasn't like the Heisman Trophy candidate people thought he could be, but he wasn't horrible. Just wasn't exactly what people wanted. The really good thing to come out of Clemson's offense, I think, was the running game. 180 rushing yards per game and a very solid 1-2 punch with Phil Mafah and Will Shipley. Both of them rushing for over 790 yards. Shipley closer to 800, Mafah closer to 900 rushing yards. But coming into this game, Clemson will be without their number 2 wide receiver in Bo Collins, who had over 510 yards and 3 touchdowns on the year. He is transferring out of the program. This is a Clemson offense that, like they did in those final 4 games of the year, needs to get the ground game going. If they can get the ground game going, that will set up the pass for Cade Klubnik, and it'll be very tough for this Kentucky defense to stop this Clemson offense. If you look at the numbers, Clemson's offense, guys, over the final 4 games, rushed for at least 176 yards in each of those games. Tigers rushed for at least 176 yards in each of their final 4 games, rushed for at least 200 yards in each of their final 3 games. If they get the ground game going, watch out. Kentucky is going to be in big, big trouble. But take a look at Kentucky's offense. Not many major opt-outs for them. That's one good thing. The Wildcats are going to be pretty solid, pretty much at full strength entering this game. But they're giving up just 334 yards per game, 203 through the air, 130 on the ground. Or that's what they're averaging on offense, I should say. It really hasn't been all that special. The Wildcats really haven't been all that special. They thought with the addition of Devin Leary, he would give them that extra boost in the passing game. They had Ray Davis at running back. Things were going to be looking great. None of that's been the case for Kentucky offensively this year. They've been held to under 300 yards of offense in 6 of their last 7 games. They have not been able to eclipse 300 yards of offense in 6 of their last 7 games. Devin Leary has thrown for just 2,400 yards, 23 touchdowns, but 10 interceptions. Ray Davis, over 1,000 yards on the ground. That's great, but nowhere near as good as he was in that win over Florida. He rushed for 280 yards in that blowout win over Florida. Had people talking about Ray Davis being one of the best running backs in the SEC. Since that game, Davis has hit the 100-yard mark 1 time. He's hit the 100-yard mark just one time since that big win over Florida. That was 128 rushing yards and a 17-point loss against Missouri. Kentucky is relying on special teams and defense and other teams' mistakes to set up their offense with favorable field position to get them on the board. If you're expecting Kentucky to go march down the field for an 80, 75-yard drive, something like that, it's probably not going to happen. They're just not that efficient and just not that effective. And they probably won't be against a very stingy Clemson defense. Always typically strong under Dabo Swinney. This has been the case in 2023 as well. Clemson's defense is 7th overall, allowing just 279 yards per game. They are 5th against the pass, allowing just 162.6 passing yards per game. And they are 27th against the run, allowing just 116.5 rushing yards per game. None of those numbers are good news if you are a Kentucky fan. This is kind of a similar situation to last year in their bowl game, facing a good Iowa defense. Yes, both Iowa and Kentucky were playing with like second, third string quarterbacks. The offenses and the defense were nothing like they maybe are coming into this game, but Kentucky struggled mightily to move the ball against one of the better defenses in the entire country. That's exactly what Clemson has. And yes, they're going to be down a lot of key players, right? They're going to be down their safety and Andrew Mukuba, number 3 tackler. They're going to be down their number 1 tackler, and Jeremiah Trotter, who has 5.5 sacks on the year. They're going to be down Nate Wiggins at cornerback. We get that, but for the most part, Clemson's defense is going to be intact. They have held 5 of their final 8 opponents to under 300 yards of offense. Kentucky has been held to under 300 yards of offense in 6 of their last 7 games against defenses that were nowhere near as good as that of Clemson. The Tigers have 30 sacks on the year, have forced 24 turnovers on the year. They are stingy, they are good, and Kentucky's offense does not pose that much of a threat as compared to some of the other offenses that Clemson has beat over the last couple of weeks, such as Notre Dame, North Carolina, and even South Carolina. You look at Kentucky, their defense, they're pretty much full strength too. That's the one thing that Kentucky's got over Clemson in this game, right? They don't really have too many major opt-outs on either side of the ball. If you're looking for a more complete team in terms of like players transferring out or opting out, Kentucky's got that edge. They really aren't losing that many players as of the filming of this video, of course. You look at the defense. The Wildcats have 27 sacks on the year. They have forced 17 turnovers on the year. And we said it a second ago. We said Kentucky offensively relies on their special teams and defense to set them up. They allow on scores from those units or allow for those guys to set their offense up with very favorable field position. And look at what they've done over the last couple of weeks, right? We said Kentucky went 2-5 down the stretch. Their 2 wins, Louisville and Mississippi State. Kentucky did not have 300 yards of offense in either of those games. But against Louisville, the Wildcats forced 3 turnovers against the Cardinals. They had a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Massive, massive plays, massive field position for the Wildcats that led them to a 38-31 victory. Against Mississippi State, the Wildcats had a pick 6, massive, in a 24-3 victory. Against Florida, they had 3 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss. They had an interception at the Florida 15-yard line that led to a touchdown to put them up 10-0. The defense did their job. It's a good defense. It's an absolutely phenomenal unit. It's pretty dang solid. Special teams doing their job too. But they are carrying the offense. They are, in a way, are kind of like Iowa, where the defense is having to do the majority of the heavy lifting and almost spoon-feeding the opportunities for the offense. The question is, can the offense actually convert off of it? Iowa, you never really knew. And Kentucky, right now, you never really know. But Kentucky's defense, very solid against the run, allowing just 114 rushing yards per game. And that's what they've got to do to beat Clemson here. Mark Stoops typically has his teams ready to go in the postseason. Keep in mind, a massive win for Kentucky was maintaining Mark Stoops. Many people thought he'd leave to go to Texas A&M. He's staying with the Wildcats. So that's going to give this team an extra boost of motivation, extra hype coming into this game. And if they can bottle up that 1-2 punch at running back for Clemson and force Cade Klubnik to win the game through the air, Kentucky's going to have themselves a shot to win this game in the fourth quarter. Because Cade Klubnik's a good quarterback, no doubt about it. But can he deliver with the weight on his shoulders, saying, hey, Cade, you have to win solely through the air? Can he deliver? That's the question. You take a look at this, guys. This is going to be a fun game. I really, really like this Gator Bowl. I like this matchup a lot. And again, you look at this, kind of a tough game for motivation. Neither team's probably thrilled to be here. Both these teams thought they'd be in a better bowl game than the Gator Bowl, but yet here we are. Now it's a matter of fighting for pride. It's a matter of fighting for motivation. It's a matter of fighting for momentum heading into the offseason. And ultimately, I think it's going to be Clemson that gets that momentum, that gets that 9-win season with a win over Kentucky. Clemson got hot down the stretch. They could have given up and phoned it in after that 4-4 start. They didn't. They rallied. They won their final 4 games, including revenge over South Carolina and including 2 top 25 victories over Notre Dame and North Carolina. They are the more complete team on both sides of the ball right now than Kentucky, and I believe they avoid the mistakes. So they don't beat themselves. So they don't allow Kentucky's defense and the special teams to do all the work. Clemson will beat the Wildcats by at least a touchdown. The Tigers win. They clinch a 9-win season, and they head into a massive offseason where they have a lot to fix if they want to find themselves back at the top of the ACC standings in 2024. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. And of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks, that holiday special there for you. Go sign up. It's never too late to sign up for those expert picks. Go over there, win big with us, and become a member of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.